What is going on, Basshead family? Christmas came a little early for me over here as we just got two Comp Rs in this beautiful custom box for these Comp Rs. This just came in, so let's get into it. That is right, guys. Christmas came early over here for me. The other day, woke up to an email from Kip over at Kicker saying he was sending me a little surprise to make a video for y'all guys with, and this is what showed up. This is, of course, two of the Comp Rs in their custom enclosure by Kicker, the DCWR10. So we're gonna do a little in-depth look at this thing, go over why you would want this, then we're gonna throw it in the car and test it out, see how it does. Now, real quick, guys, it's time for the next giveaway over on my Facebook page. As soon as that page gets to 2,000 likes, I have a little bass package I'm giving away here. First off, we have the CT Sounds Meso 8. This is a awesome little sub. Go check out the review I did on that. And this is the CT700 monoblock amplifier. This little fella is awesome, so huge. Shout out to CT Sounds for sending me these and hooking y'all up with a giveaway. All right, back to the review. Real quick, let's dive into the specs on this guy. So, of course, we have the 10-inch versions. This is the DCWR10. Final impedance of both of them is 2 ohms. Sensitivity is 94 dB. The recommended RMS is 400 to 800 watts. Peak 1600 watts. We'll, of course, put that little fella to the test. Frequency response, 30 to 500 hertz. So that's a nice overall response for that normal bass music. And then we have the dimensions for the box as well, just so you can make sure it'll fit in your car. So that being said, a really nice thing about this is it is a really pretty compact box. Nice thing about getting two 10s as opposed to maybe two 12s. Again, box is nice and compact. This will fit in pretty much any trunk, or maybe on the top of your back seats in your truck or whatever. And then the back here is sloped down, so if you do put it in your trunk, it uses all this space optimally, doesn't leave any airspace behind the seats. Let's get a little closer look up at this guy. I do love these Kicker boxes, paired with the Kicker subs. You're just going to get your optimal sound out of having a box specifically designed for the subs. And they really do a beautiful job with this carpeting and putting the logo and all that on there, but all the edges are nice and rounded off. So overall, a really clean looking box. This will look really excellent in your trunk or what have you. Also on the back here, we've got these little push terminals. They're kind of cool. They're square, but they feel really good. And they also got kind of like a little oval shape where the wire goes in. I don't know, just kind of neat. And they look like you could probably fit 8-gauge wire in there. Y'all, the Comp R is one of my favorite Kicker subs. For your average guy just putting in like 1,000 or 1,500 watt system in their car, these things are great for the price, and they look really sleek, and I've always had really good results with them. Okay, now in my opinion, why would you want to get this setup or a similar Kicker setup like this? I'd say there's a couple main points. One, you're getting a full custom system that is going to sound as optimal as it can. You're getting two great subs that are in a box that is specifically designed for them. This is so much better than just going and buying, two Kickers and then throwing them in a random cheap box. You're not going to get the optimal performance out of the subs as you will getting this box that is designed and engineered exactly for these guys. Second point would be reliability. I have seen more of these Kickers, either the regular comps or the Comp Rs, or one of them, that have just lasted years and years, more than any other sub. Now, a lot of that is because a ton of these things are sold, but these subs really are really tough. Assuming you have the proper amp on them and you're not clipping them to death. I have seen tons of these things that are 10 or 15 years old that are still just going. So if you want something that you can throw in that's going to last you forever, this is a great option. My third point is just ease of use. If you're just getting into car audio or you don't want to deal with picking out a sub that goes with a good box and figuring out and going through all the different reviews and yada, this is a really easy system. Everything's ready. All you got to do is hook up your amp and wire these to your amp and you're good to go. It doesn't take up a ton of space. It looks really clean. It's going to sound good and it's going to last forever. Now, I know I have a bunch of hardcore bass heads on here that may not be super into Kicker, and y'all, that is totally cool. I'm not saying this is a one-stop off for everybody whatsoever. In my opinion, this is for that beginner to intermediate who just want some good bass in their car. They're not trying to get crazy stupid low. They're not trying to get crazy stupid loud. but they do want something that's going to impress their friends, that's going to fit in their car, that's going to fit their budget, and that's just going to last, that's not going to be a pain, that's not going to be breaking on them, and stuff like that. This is the setup for that person. All right, time to throw this thing in the car, let it break in for a little while, and then we'll see how it does. Okay, we got this guy in here and hooked up. Y'all, very, very clean looking, as I said. But anyway, let's test it out, make sure it works. Then we'll do some testing once it breaks in. Got a little sneak peek for y'all. Something else showed up from Kicker, another surprise, so cannot wait to check out that as well. So like I was saying earlier, if you're playing in that normal music bass spectrum, which is like 30 hertz and up, this thing does great. Now y'all, just because it is a 10 does not mean it is more punchy than a 12 or anything like that. I guarantee you I could put somebody in here, I could put this setup in here, and then I could put a 12 setup in here, and they would not tell the difference as far as punchiness or anything like that. Again, so long as you have a good box for your system, the bass with a 10 is really going to sound pretty much like your normal 12. Now, if you're getting down into 8s or 6.5s, that's when you're really going to get maybe some of that mid bass better than the really, really lows. That being said, whereas this shines with that normal music, where it does not shine is with anything below 30 hertz. So I'm going to play a song that is rebased to 25 hertz, and you'll see the subs will really be moving, but it won't really necessarily sound all that great. It'll just be kind of sloppy. So I'll show you all that just so you can kind of see. Again, it works, but just not what these subs and enclosure are really designed to do. Alrighty, these things get down though, so next up, let's do the RMS test. Now, it's set 4 to 800 watts, but I told you all these things were tough, so I'm going to try to keep it a little closer to that 1,000 watt mark. We'll just see how it does going through a full song like that. Let's get into this. Y'all, we pushed those things there. We stayed pretty much very consistently between 900 and 1600 watts, and we even peaked up to 1900 watts, and they made it through that full song. No smells or anything crazy. Dust caps are a little bit warm, as you would expect, but both subs made it through that test. What's really cool about that is that when Kicker recommends 400 to 800 watts, what your average person is going to do, they're going to go buy like a Kicker 800 or maybe even a 1,000 watt amp that's going to do that 800 watts or even 1,000 watts at 2 ohms. But as y'all can see on that little meter I had playing, the ohms on this thing were rising up to 5, 6, and even 7 ohms. So that means that 1,000-watt amplifier would be putting out way, way, way less than 1,000 watts during normal playing. Whereas in my case, I have an 8,000-watt amplifier, so even though the ohms are rising so high, it is still able to maintain that clean power going to the subs. All right, it's time to see how loud we can get these things. Now, this is exciting. I've never really done 2 10s to see how loud we can get it in this car, so let's see what we can do. Main thing to notice, this is a massive, massive cabin, so when you're doing a dB test, you are pressurizing the cabin. So the bigger cabin you have, the more it takes to pressurize it. So we're not going to get a crazy score, but might as well see what we get, though. First thing we're going to do, we're going to play a sweep tone just so we can see where this box peaks at. So this is going to go from 100 to 20 hertz. Let's see what it does. Our first one was at pretty low power, 157 watts, and we peaked at 47 hertz. That time 362 watts. And once again, we peaked at 47 hertz. Okay, sorry lighting is terrible, but we know this thing peaks at 47 hertz. So we're gonna play that and just keep bumping it up, see how loud we can get this thing. First try at 47 hertz, let's go. 500 watts through it. And we got a 135.6. 902 watts, but we only got a 135 this time. All right, that time 1,500 watts. Oh, we got a big jump. We got a 139. 1,900 watts. And we got a 140.1. 2,074 watts. And we got a 140.4. 2,300 watts. And we got a 140.8. So even though we had it up, we did not gain any wattage as the amp was clipping there. So because of the ohms rising so high, we're just not gaining any volume. But again, we got a 140.7. Also, quick plug for Knob Concepts for building me this bass knob. Y'all, he does not pay me to show this stuff in these videos, but he does really, really cool custom work. He can about build anything you want. He also built me this distribution block down here. Anyway, really, really love what he does. Well, y'all, this has been a ton of fun. Really kind of bringing me back to my early days of car audio, where these kickers in their comp boxes were just a dime a dozen. Definitely have had several of them in my time of being a bass head. So really, really cool to do this. Kip, thank you so much for sending this over to me. Has been a ton of fun reviewing this, like I said. Anyway, guys, y'all let me know what you think. Again, I'm just going to reiterate, if you're an insane bass head wanting something stupid loud and stupid low, no, obviously you're not going to go with this. But if you're wanting something that is easy, is going to sound good, and is just really durable, going to last you a long time, and always going to put a smile on your face, and you don't want to deal with building a custom box and figuring out what sub you want to go with and all that junk, getting one of these kicker setups in the custom box that they make for them is just a really easy and awesome way to go. And they have a setup for pretty much every price point. You can get single 12s, single 10s, and the regular comps, and the comp Cs, and the comp Rs. Again, for that beginner to intermediate guy, this is an awesome setup to go with. Well, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Remember to subscribe to this channel and go check out my Facebook page if you want to be entered to any of the giveaways we are doing here. Again, we're doing the CD Sounds giveaway next, and then I have multiple things to give away after that, so cannot wait to be shipping some of that stuff out to some of y'all. So again, stay tuned for that. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Helps me out so much, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and remember, as always, keep basing on.